I go by King Midas, and I'm a rapper out of Brooklyn. I live in the Bronx right now, though. Um, my definition of art, I'd say that art is ultimate, the ultimate form of human expression. Actually, I think that's like the way I would define art, because even though I'm not like super religious or anything like that, I would say that when they say humans are like made in the form of God and like in the image of God, I feel like art is like the way that we could like kind of like be that. I don't think that's like really a visual thing. Like when people say that, I think it's like more of what we're able to do, what we're capable of doing, and I think that art is the epitome of that. Like we create, we have things in our minds, we create them and bring them to reality, bring them to the physical form and stuff, and we manifest everything that we do. So I'd say that that's what art is to me. It's like human expression. It's like the closest thing we could get to being like godly. Appreciate you. Yeah. So what Black culture looks like to me, I'd say in general, Black culture, like when I think about, just growing up, me being a Black man, growing up as a Black kid and stuff, having a Black family and friends, there's a lot of, I would say togetherness and solidarity and stuff, because, we all have the same experiences or similar experiences at least. But given that it's 2022 and like the events that happened like a couple years ago, George Floyd and everything, I just feel like right now Black culture is like on some, we're on a rise. We're trying to like, get real equality and like, real justice for our people. And, I think that's very powerful, because to me as an artist, like one of my very first songs that I dropped, being a rapper, it was about, our struggles, our black struggles. It was a song called Seek Peace. I dropped it on SoundCloud 2016. And yeah, it was pretty much, I wrote that because I was just frustrated with everything that was going on. I don't remember the exact specific event that had occurred recently during that time when I wrote it, but yeah, I felt like, somebody had to say something. Not too many people use their, art to talk about real issues like that all the time. So I don't know. I just felt like I had to say something, for my people, for everything that like, we've gone through, and yeah, to keep that solidarity that I mentioned before, because that's honestly what keeps us together, and that's what keeps us strong. So that's what it is. All right, so I'd say as an artist, I would say the con first. The cons first, being that I'm an artist in New York, everybody pretty much is an artist. So there's always going to be like competition. There's always going to be people who want to like push their stuff out and like promote their stuff. And you could be like, oh, bro, promote my stuff too. And they might do that, but it's never really going to be like with as much like effort and fervor as they're going to push their own stuff. So that's always the thing you got to think about being an artist, at least, in a city like New York. I'm pretty sure it's like that also in like Miami, Atlanta, Cali, stuff like that. But the pros though is the fact that because there's so many like creatives in these spaces, in these areas, like you get to meet a lot of really talented people, and a lot of those talented people are like really good, genuine people who do appreciate the stuff that you do. And like I said, they're talented, so like if you're cool, like you're gonna appreciate their stuff, so there's always gonna be like an opportunity to collab. I would say the impact that I want to leave in art in general, it has to do a lot with like my team, because I'm in a group, we're called 404 Faction, and we do a lot of events, and we do a lot of collabs with a lot of artists around New York in general already. And we have a studio in Brooklyn, in Bushwick, and we're trying to like, make that be like the hub, the central hub of like, not only people who make music, but like people who like design fashion and like videographers, photographers and stuff like that. So like the impact that I say I want to leave is like, I want my songs to inspire people and like to make them, want to make music of their own, but also like, I also want like just our group in general to like be the place, or like be the thing that people think about when they want to like, if they're coming from out of town or whatever, out of the country, and like they come into New York, like, oh, those are the 404 guys, like let's work on something with them and collab with them and all that stuff. So that's kind of the impact that I want to leave on the scene in general. And I would say any advice that I want to leave for anybody who does want to make music or like any kind of art in general, I would say the biggest thing is to keep going, like to always push yourself to keep going and like to never stop, because it's very easy to get to feel overwhelmed by, like I said, the amount of people that are also making art. But it's also very like easy to see people who are successful with their art and to compare it to yours and to say that, oh, I'm not doing what I should be doing, I'm not doing it as big as I can be doing it. But you know, with any good thing, there's always going to be like time that you got to take to develop it and make it better. So that's the biggest piece of advice I would say to anybody who wants to make art, is to never give up and to keep pushing it, because you never know how far it's going to go.
My name is Mooney. My full name is Iwumnia, and I am a content creator.
What do you create?
Okay, so basically what I create, I do YouTube, and I also like to edit videos. That's pretty all I'm doing right now, but I do some things in school as well, where I collab with some other content creators and we create just content around campus. I feel like art is anything that you feel like expresses you or that speaks to you. Art is different for everyone. Yeah. Black culture means togetherness for me. Just simply embracing who we are as a people and not being afraid to show it or water it down for others. And I would say it influences my creations just by allowing me to simply talk to other people, get to know them, and create and just be together. Pros and cons of being a Black creator, I would simply say one con for me would be that you feel like you have a lot of pressure on yourself to be the best that you can be, even though you may be the best that you think you are, or to others. We never really see it until others say it. And I would say that some pros would be that you get to have some sort of self-reflection when you're creating, and you look back at your work so you can always improve. You learn something new every day. And yeah. Okay. So an impact that I would like to have on Black culture, or an influence, is just showing others that it's okay to be yourself while doing what you do, and just be you.
Oh yeah, I create images, and I create photographs. And one of my favorite photographers, Edgar Cohen's, said this, and I really live by it. Taking a picture and taking a photograph are two separate things entirely. Taking a picture is simply capturing what's in front of you, while taking a photograph is, putting your heart into it and using it as an expression of self, conveying undertones and themes and love and hate and passion, through this medium. And I think art is the expression of self. Black culture is, a superpower. I think, or I know, Black culture is the values in music and dance and rhythm and creation and Black excellence that exists across the Pan-African world, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in America, in South America, in Asia. Black culture is everywhere in terms of what it influences, in terms of everything that's being profited off of. Black culture is an all-encompassing, preview of the world. And it's interesting to see, I lived in Ethiopia and Ghana and Zambia. And so it's interesting to see the contrast in black culture between the Caribbean, African Americans, Africans, and that's why I really believe in the Pan-African identity is really going to be the future of black people. Black culture is almost entirely, what I do, because I've been bouncing around the black world. Throughout my life, it's had so many influences on my creative process and the subject matter that I value and whatnot. So, black culture it influences my work very, very much so, almost entirely. I think, or I know, I'm gonna be the greatest photographer of this whole generation of photographers. And it's like, we have more photographers than we've ever had because it's easier to take a picture than ever. And so if you look at the big picture, it can get discouraging because there's such a saturated community of photographers. But I look at it completely differently. Like the actual process of taking a photo and creating an image rather than just taking a picture, I think is completely unique to me. And the resources that I've been blessed with, my mentor, it's really like, I know it's going to be the path to greatness. I think, like I was saying, there's more creatives than ever now. And the economy has to accommodate it. So I think there's going to be more creative jobs than ever before now, because, all the practical jobs are being taken over by robots or whatever and whatnot. And so, I think we're going to have to, creativity is something that can't be emulated, That's something that's really, it comes from the soul. And I think that there's a lot of beautiful things about it. I think your mind is freer. Non-creative people, they just don't like to be in their imagination, And so that's a huge pro for me. The con is, everyone, especially generations before us, always look for the least risk possible and practicality. Go to college, become a lawyer, become a doctor. Have that set is the belief. And that also comes from because a lot of older generations were first or second generation immigrants. We've grown up here, and so we have dreams and shit. But I think that is a con, is having to, a lot of people will doubt you and say it's not practical, and you'll end up a starving artist. But you have to push past it.
I define art as self-expression. It's like whatever you want it to be, you make it. A lot of people try to put this, define expectations or limitations on art, but there is none. Yeah, I don't know. I never exactly like to define anything that I indulge myself into, unless it's for a beneficial purpose. It's better to indulge in something you love without having any expectations on how it should be done, or any standards in the sense of comparing yourself to others. I would just define art as something that you love to do, bring joy to you and your everyday life, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I create art, I do paintings, epoxy art, I make ashtrays as well. And then I'm also a film photographer, creative director, and fashion stylist. And yeah, that's it. What black culture looks like to me is unity, love, freedom, which is something we fought for a very long time. So I like to include it in my statement every time I speak on black culture in any type of way, because I feel like it should be something that's important to us and cherished to us, and we should all be striving for more freedom, and especially financial freedom. So yeah, that's what black culture looks like to me. Just love, appreciation for just being alive, being here, and, you know, looking out for each other. And that's really what it is. We're very innovative too, so I always include that in Black culture too. We're very creative, free-spirited. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot, but yeah. Black culture influenced my art because it's always my focus point when shooting. I look for how we influence the world, which is damn near in everything. Shout out to Black History Month and Black History Life. But I think that we influence the world in so many different ways. Even if we get credit, even if we don't, it doesn't matter because we know it personally, and that's really all that matters for us. It influences my art in a sense of, you know, that's always the people who I'm reaching out to collaborate with and just to broadcast more because it's not seen that much already in the world. I'm glad that it's becoming more seen and more people are, you know, expressing Black culture, especially throwback Black culture and stuff like that. So, yeah. The pros of being a creative is you see the world in a different way. I swear, I had a whole think piece. I had a whole think piece. Yeah, you're good. I kind of want that part in there. Like, it's okay to stumble, but yeah. I just feel like the pros is being able to express yourself the way you would like to, expressing it in a way that many don't have the privilege to. Because as an artist, as I said, you see things in a different way. And it can be beneficial, but it can also be a negative thing to us sometimes. We see things deeper than what it may be or deeper than the average person would. So we're not that much understood unless it's by our fellow creatives. But yeah. Another pro is you get to show the world what you can do. How you can benefit the world, society, how you can influence people, inspire people to create, do what they want. You never know who's watching. You never know who you're influenced to. So that's also a pro. A con, I would say, is being a creative, you have to learn that how good you are doesn't determine your status. It doesn't determine how far or how quick you move up in the world. It doesn't determine how much exposure you gain. In today's society, people like to ignore it, but it is mostly about popularity. And it can be a good thing sometimes because the people who are getting the popularity are truly deserving of it. Like, they're talented and stuff. But it's others who, you know, aren't exactly that much. And I don't want to put nobody down because everybody becomes greater. But I just wish that it was equal and share fair love for everyone, especially the artists who are striving every day to be greater and just to be recognized. So it doesn't hurt to, you know, give your fellow creatives a share, a repost, like, you know, book them, you know, like anything, just put them on to somebody else, just anything. So yeah, that's a con, you know, trying not to come off as if like people need to support you, but trying to show people what the benefit is of them supporting you, like you're giving back to your own community, like it doesn't hurt. Another con would be what I talked about before, it being a pro, like seeing things in a different way. I touched on it being a con, like sometimes it could be beneficial, sometimes it can't, and the times that it's not, it's really not. But yeah, other than that, I really don't see no cons in being an artist or creative. It exposes you to different aspects of the world and different views of the world. So I feel like that's beneficial in any way you take it, no matter if it's a negative experience or a positive one, you know, just be grateful. So yeah, and what impact I want to leave on the community, I just want people to be inspired. I want people to feel like, I feel like for so long we've been told that we have to stick to the everyday jobs and stuff, which is nothing wrong with that, but I just wish that people, if you have a dream or a passion for something that may not be the standard, you know, stereotypical expectation for us, that's okay. Pursue that. And if you fail, that's okay. If you want to get up and try again, do so. If you don't and you want to try something else, do so. It doesn't hurt. For this human experience, it's all about, you know, doing what's best for you, trying new things, trying to, you know, elevate yourself in ways that, you know, regular things wouldn't. And you can only do that by self-expressing yourself, creating, stepping out your comfort zone. It's nothing that good about being comfortable. Like, except for the fact that you're comfortable. Like, you know, you're gonna want to step out of your comfort zone. And even when you step out your comfort zone, it can feel, you know, weird at first, but it's exciting. Like, it's exciting to step into something new, know that you're uncomfortable, but it's something that you're gonna possibly be comfortable with doing in the future. So, yeah, I just want to impact people by just inspiring them to just do what they want and leave an impact on the world themselves. If they feel like they don't have a voice, they're wrong. They have a voice. We all have voices, or else we wouldn't have voices. It's that simple. But yeah, my advice to everybody is keep doing what you're doing. Keep striving for greatness. I always say that we are the future, so we have to help each other out to get to where we want to get. And there's nothing wrong with failing. There's nothing wrong with getting up and doing it again. I like to, you know, reiterate that a lot because I feel like there's such this huge stereotype on failing and how, you know, that seems like a negative thing, but failing causes you to learn and you apply more pressure the next time you go through it again. So that's that. And yeah, that's my impact for everybody. Keep being a rock star, keep doing you, and yeah, be great.
So to me, art is a visual representation of an emotion that you're trying to convey to others. Like, you don't have to convey it to others. A lot of the time it can be because you want to just put how you feel into a visual form. Yeah, I create mostly sculpture, and that's because I like to paint, I like to draw, I like to take pictures. I like to do things that can be abstract. So I like to put a lot of different materials together and make something that in my mind is beautiful and share it with others. So yeah. So to me, Black culture is everything that I am, I'm gonna say. When I was younger, I didn't like being Black. Like, the weirdest thing. No, I know. Because I'm darker, right? People used to be like, all the stereotypes, you already know all the stereotypes. I don't have to say them. And I grew up in, like, the islands, so I was a lot darker because I was always in the sun. I was always playing and stuff. And I was just like, dang, why do I have to be so dark? I hated it. But, like, when I came up here and I met, which is weird, I came up here and realized the value of my skin and realized the value of my culture and all that, like, we can do and how we're, like, hard workers and we chase the bag. Like, even if it's not necessarily, like, commodity-wise, like, we're not trying to, like, get, like, physical money. We're always trying to get more knowledge and, like, learn more about things around us. And, like, I appreciate that a lot. That things aren't just handed to us. So we appreciate a lot more. We appreciate, like, the friendships and the people that we meet a lot more, which is why it influences me and my art and the things that I create, collaborations. I love growing and learning about others. So that has a lot to play with, like, how I create, how I make, how I art. Well, I'm gonna start with the cons so that, you know, that's good. So I think that, like, a con to being an artist is that people claim that it don't make no money. Like, they claim that. But it's funny because when you think about it, art goes into every single thing that you do. Because if you can't, like, art is usually visual, and if you can't see it, people don't believe it as much. Even down to, like, little things like how would something work, the visual representation of it is always most important. So the cons is that people think that it doesn't make money, or people think that it's hard to do something that's new since art has been around for such a long time. However, I think, like, the pros to being an artist is that since art has been around for a long time, you can learn a lot from other artists, as well as seeing how you differ, seeing how you want to combine what they did with what you want to do. I think that a pro is that it makes me, in my opinion, it makes me different to other people because I like to show my art in every single way. Like literally, I will show my art in the way that I dress, in the way that I do my nails. Yeah, I'll show my art in like everything that I do. I try to show my art because I don't like being plain. Like I'll do my hair and try to show my art in my hair. I'll do my nails, try to show my art in my nails, in my jackets, in my bags, in my room. Like I'll just put art into every single aspect so that everything that I see just makes me a lot happier. Yeah, art makes me happy. The impact that I want to leave on the culture or on art is that I don't be afraid to like use things for what it's not used for. For example, when I do makeup, sometimes I'll use eyeshadow on my cheeks. It's fine. It's eyeshadow, yeah, but it'll still give like a really cute impact on your cheeks, and you can still like use it in that way and it will still create a different outcome. If it says that you can't paint on something, paint on it anyways because it still might be fun. And then you'll learn how it works, what not to do next time. Yeah, so don't be afraid to use things for what it's not intended for. That's my advice.
I'm Sean. I create everything, literally everything. Like I'm multimedia, you name it, I do it. Music, graphic design, post-production, photography, videography. I got my hand at every pot, for real. And what does art mean to me, right? Yeah. To me, art is everything, like literally everything. You can't have a creation without art or artistic mind. For me, like even this camera we using, somebody was like, ooh, let me make this, so they did it. And I just feel like that's the beauty in everything. Even the buildings that we go into, the sheets we lay on, that shit is everything, at least to me, you feel me? So if somebody didn't think about it, we wouldn't have it. And that's what art is to me. Like it's the beauty in every single creation. Black culture to me is us living in the moment, the past, the future. It's literally us. We set the trends. Everybody wants to be us, but everybody hates us. And I think that's what black culture is. Black culture to me looks like literally like I said, us living, like anything that we do. That influences my work though, for like the most part, because it gives me inspiration. For example, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I didn't see Jay-Z have Rockaway or Rockefeller growing up as a kid, or see 50 Cent be G-Unit. But at the same time, it's polar opposites. Like I see some of my colleagues or associates, you know, they doing shit that I might frown upon, but it still motivates me to do what I do, you feel me? Because we all got different priorities and shit like that. But you gotta get it how you get it. And at the end of the day, like I said, we most hate it, so we gotta do what we gotta do to make our living and show the world that it's really fucking. So that really influences me to go harder at what I do every day, because the chips are stacked against us. The impact I want to leave on the culture, especially for the youth, is to never give up. Don't be afraid to try, and don't stop if you don't get gratification from others that you want it from. It don't matter. What was the second one, bro? My fault. Pros and cons. Pros and cons of being an artist. I'll start with the cons. The cons are you never get the respect that you're looking for, but you get it in hindsight. Everybody doesn't know the work that you put in. They just see the work that you show them. And the pros is you get to control your narrative. You literally get to create what's in your brain. You can do what you want. There's no rules to this. And you get to literally love what you do, even like the bad parts of it. That's the pros. And as far as the advice that I would give to young black artists, don't ever quit. Like keep going, keep trying. never give up, and don't listen to no outsiders. Like, don't listen to that noise. Your own family could be your haters. Your own friends could be your haters. You could be your own hater, but don't listen to that. Just keep going. You gonna get your dreams. I promise you.